I'm here to check out something from a band called Magnolia Park. Pretty dope name for a band, in my opinion. This one's called The Void. It's perfect for you.
Ah, she's like singing out of my soul. Sometimes we get lost in our own little world, but it's all so much bigger than we realize.
They are initially building momentum independently through their creative use of social media. They're connected with a core audience that now reaches over 1 million followers, over 77 million views on TikTok. So they had their debut album, Baku's Revenge, in 2022. Ones to Watch made the case that proved they're more than a TikTok band. So that one was the one, I guess, that kind of put them on the map beyond the TikTok. And I love that because I feel like there's clips on TikTok and on Instagram Reels that go viral with the video, right? Maybe because it was good footage, pretty, something attractive, something crazy. And you have that music that goes with it. And so people may have heard of a snippet of a track, but they don't know the band. They don't know the real song. And so I love when a band comes on the map and we know more about them through it. So all that to say is that it looks like they are blowing up, and I'm here for it. Magnolia Park. It's intriguing because it sounds sweet, it sounds peaceful, serene, but something tells me that this is going to be way heavier. So that's that duality here that I'm already intrigued by.
Welcome to the void.
I called it, didn't I? I'm going to rewind and start over. I called it. Magnolia Park over here making us think it's going to be this beautiful, serene scene of nature with beautiful flowers and peace and strength. Honestly, magnolia trees look strong. There's not just that beauty when we think of flowers. There's fierceness too. Anyways, I'm getting too psychological and poetic and philosophical already, just analyzing the flippin' band's name. I'd like to know, though, why they picked it. I had a feeling.
Welcome to the void.
Touch my heart to see if it's beating. Up all night, my blood starts weeping. Carry my soul, my spirit's fleeting. Hold my mirror, cause I won't stop grieving. I try to fight, and I keep coming back, but I fall flat. I'm face to face with the black eyes on, cause I can't trust anyone. No one's gonna save me now, cause I'm falling in a void. Every day I'm breaking down, cause I'm feeling paranoid. I'm missing the person I used to be. My soul is burning like gasoline, cause no one's gonna save me when I'm falling in a void.
Heck yes. Oh, did you see the eyes? Oh my goodness, that's freaking me out right now. Do you see the eyes in the background? Ha! I didn't see that till just now. Listen. I don't want to say much. I want to keep listening to the full thing. This is fire. Strong crescendo, drums coming in hard, keeping the time signatures tight. You got the e-guitar from the get-go. Just your beautiful rock. You hear the staccato, you hear the drums, you hear those rhythmic elements. They affect us. They affect how we respond. You know, our heart is beating, our minds and the neurons are firing in our brain. There's rhythm to everything we do. When it comes to drums and the clean time signatures and that staccato and the way musical compositions affect us, they create a level of excitement because it correlates with how we operate as people. And it brings in the emotional aspect of either anger and aggression or excitement. It's hard to just sit back and go, right? I mean, even if you're feeling very depressed or you're feeling very lethargic, when you start moving, even if it takes a little to get into it, when you start laughing rhythmically, ha, 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 right? There's these exercises online where you just have to say ha, ha so many times until it turns into a natural laugh. It's hard to not smile too when you see that. It's hard to not dance when people around you are dancing. It's contagious. You hear certain rhythms and it makes you want to respond. It almost pulls you out of that lethargic mindset. The lead singer, I love his voice. There's something soulful about how he sings. When he is singing, I hear a warmth to it. But then when he took it up a notch and he starts belting and screaming, that made me go, okay, this guy can sing. When you can sing beautifully, great. When you can hold a note, awesome. But when you can now scream without damaging your voice, that's impressive. I love when people can't be boxed in, no matter what they look like or no matter what their attire or their style, where we make assumptions about people and they just surprise you. They blow your mind. And I love that.
My head stands tall, my vices eat me.
That was dope.
Can't trust myself, my thoughts deceive me. I can't get up, 'cause I keep freezing. Read my lips, 'cause someone heal me. Dug my grave. I'm at my weakest. I'm at my weakest. No one's
This is
gonna
deep.
save me now, 'cause I'm falling in a void. Every day I'm breaking down, 'cause I'm feeling paranoid. I'm missing the person I used to be. My soul is burning like gasoline, 'cause no one's gonna save me when I'm falling in a void. For the death of my spirit, for the sake of my soul, give me a reason why I shouldn't go, 'cause I'm losing hope. No one's gonna save me now, 'cause I'm falling in the void. Every day I'm breaking down, 'cause I'm feeling paranoid. No one's gonna save me. No one's gonna save me. I'm missing the person I used to be. My soul is burning like gasoline, 'cause no one's gonna save me when I'm falling in a void.
Dude. Okay. Part of me wants to cry. I have an emotional response to this because I empathize with that feeling of feeling like you're losing yourself. I've had those moments in my life feeling like I'm so far gone from the person that I was supposed to be, expected to be, wanted to be. That feeling of shame, of loneliness. I empathize with that feeling of complete despair. I also am emotional because I empathize with people who feel this way, who are so paranoid and hurt that they are looking for a reason, begging you for a reason to give them to not go. So I'm empathizing with that personal experiences, other people's hurt. I'm also excited because this music, again, the musical composition is hype. They play together beautifully. The time signatures, the guitar shredding, his voice, legendary. The music video, intense, intriguing, can be analyzed different ways. I think at first glance, both the lyrics, the music video, the overall feel of this composition makes me think of mental health struggles. When you are very depressed or very anxious, you are so distraught, you are considering ending your life. You'd rather be dead. I think most people want to live, right? Even those in the very last moments of their life, we want to live. That's all we know. Death is scary. It's uncertain. There's a lot of anxiety that comes with that. So even when you are super distraught, there's still a desire in many of us to live. We just don't want to live this way anymore. I think a lot of people that want to end it are not trying to end life. They're trying to end the kind of life that they're living. And they don't know how to change it. They don't know how to get out of it. So death seems like the only way out, even though they don't really want to die. I think many people would like to live a life, just live it without the depression, live it without the suffering, live it without the pain. And so that's that struggle there. But to be so alone that you feel in a void, that void that where there's nothing. The idea of void means nothingness. Nothingness. That ultimately is death, right? I mean, regardless if you believe in heaven or in reincarnation or nothing, the idea of death, the uncertainty of not knowing what is afterward, of breathing your last, your heartbeat stops, and you're gone. Either your spirit leaves or your mind hopefully leaves, or your conscience, your being, whatever you are, your psyche, your soma, not your soma is dying and shriveling, your pneuma, your spirit, or your soul, regardless if that leaves or now you're just nothing. That's scary. There's this idea of a void meaning nothingness, complete emptiness. A void also makes me think of, however, something that kind of sucks you in, kind of like that TV that was pulling him in. It's nothing. It's almost mesmerizing the way that it's being presented here in this video, something that's pulling you closer. And I think when we're talking about someone who's depressed, who is so distraught or dealing with different disorders, right? Paranoia, schizophrenia, split personality disorder, bipolar disorder, different distresses we're experiencing in life, be it on the diagnosable scale, something that can be identified and diagnosed in the latest DSM-5, regardless if it's something that can be diagnosed or if it's regular human distress we're experiencing on a different scale, on a different spectrum, anxiety, depression, grief, loneliness. It feels sometimes like it pulls you in. It's beyond a void that is just nothing. There's just nothing, but also this intrigue, right? When you are feeling like you're being sucked in by the grief, you're being sucked in by depression, you're being sucked in and overwhelmed and consumed by whatever is causing you distress. It's a very lonely place to be. Even saying things like nobody can save me. It speaks of the complete loneliness and isolation that comes with mental health distress, with the human experience. Even the words like paranoia, right? This idea of seeing a demon behind every bush, feeling like everyone's out to get you. That's a hard place to be, because when you feel like you're going crazy, you need someone to be in that with you. Beyond going, oh, this must be hard, and then walking away and leaving you alone, you need someone to be in that with you. But if, for example, you're terrified of something that's not physically there, it may be dismissed by some. Oh, that's just ghosts. Oh, those are just paper tigers. This is not really real. You're exaggerating, whatever. Just get up. Just go get the medicine. Just take the next pill. Just go to a therapist. Just get over it. Right? Different ways that people respond because they feel helpless. They don't know how to help you, or they're uncomfortable with this, or it triggers their own issues for whatever reason. Sometimes it'll be dismissed. And when you are in a place of feeling like you're going crazy, you're becoming paranoid, you feel like there's threats on every side, it's really hard to convince you otherwise, right? I could tell you I'm safe. But if a person is experiencing paranoia, they're not safe of anything, including themselves. They are becoming a threat to themselves. Their thoughts are becoming a threat to themselves. That's a very painful place to be when you're being attacked by your own mind. The one thing that you would wish you could trust, if I'm being attacked by external forces, at least I can be with me. At least I can have my own back. At least I can love me. At least I can speak truth to me. At least my mind can tell me what they're doing is wrong and they're not safe. I will keep me safe. I will become self-defensive, or I will protect myself, or I will look for good friends and love somewhere else. When your own thoughts attack you, the battle is internal. Now you can't trust what's going on the outside or the inside. So when I'm being paranoid, I'm looking at everything as a threat. Perhaps even including the people that genuinely want to help me. Maybe even looking at the things that are good for me as bad. So it's a very lonely, very hard place to be. And then there's this feeling of nobody can save me. And there's validity to that statement. I think as I'm getting older, I'm learning that the part of that statement that is true is that you need to show up for you. Growing up in a more conservative religious setting, it was all external. God saves me, right? And then I would start looking to people for mentorship and counsel to heal certain voids that were there through parental dynamics or hurt that had been caused in my life. And there's beauty in that. There's beauty in faith, beauty in the belief of a loving God. There's beauty in the comfort in family and friends and people that show up for us and show us you're loved, you're not alone. There's beauty in that. We are relational creatures. But at the same time, when it's always external, I'm waiting for a God to save me, for people to show up, it always becomes driven by external forces. Our external locus of control is high. What about the internal one? At what point am I going to show up for me? And so I think this statement of saying no one can save me now can sound disheartening. No one can save me. I'm all alone. It speaks to the isolation and loneliness. But I think there's truth in the statement in the sense that you have to choose you. I had a beautiful conversation with Amanda from the YouTube channel Mental Amanda. Go check her out. And she too was talking about how she had to come to a point in her journey with mental health. She is a suicide survivor. She had to come to a point where she realized only she can help herself, right? People that she looked up to, that she related to, even musically speaking, they weren't going to save her. Even them and their struggles and their life's journey and story and what they chose or didn't choose to do wasn't going to change or save her. There has to come a point where you decide to fight for you. So yes, nobody else can save you in the sense that you have to show up for you. You have to make that choice to get help. You have to make that choice to say, you know what? I deserve to live a life happy. And it's hard. If you're paranoid or you feel like that even might be a lie or a threat or that's not true, where do you go from there, right? Sometimes perhaps you're going to have to first start with that. Telling yourself something, even if your heart hasn't fully believed it yet, even if your mind isn't fully comprehending, even if the world around you or even those internal demons are telling you, no, you're not. No, you don't deserve to live. You're not worthy. If there's any part of you that says, I don't like this feeling, this makes me feel alone, isolated, like I'm being sucked into the void, something's off, right? That can be your tell. Something's not right. This doesn't make me feel good. I don't feel at peace. I don't feel happy. I can't say with honesty and certainty, I love my life. This is just all wonderful. No, I feel like I don't deserve to be alive. I feel like I'm hurting, I'm struggling, I'm suffering. If that's the message you're telling yourself, but it makes you feel a lack of peace, it makes you feel despair, it makes you feel jealous of those who are happy, it makes you feel like something's missing, then consider that that might be true, that something is missing. And the piece that might be missing is the fact that maybe that's a lie. Maybe what you're telling yourself is the wrong story. Maybe the story is you are worthy of love. You do deserve to have a good life. You do deserve to live. You are seen. You are not alone. But this song, I think, really talks about that mental health dilemma of being sucked into that void, feeling complete despair. And I think it was well put musically from a compositional standpoint, lyrically, the music video, the voice just, so good. Addressing that pain, that struggle, really, really, really how deep it is and how big the suffering is. The other way that I interpret it is because that screen that is pulling him in, the void and then the eyeballs everywhere, it did also make me think of the void of social media and television and all the eyes around, right? There's eyes everywhere. We everybody has an opinion. We're being sucked in. Nobody can save me. You're feeling complete despair. And I saw parallels there too, how some people end up feeling very alone. Nobody can save me. Somebody tell me that, there's still hope. Otherwise, I'm just going to go. I think there's a lot of people in this social media world that are very lonely, that do feel that pull of that void. You get that dopamine fix when someone comments or likes your post. You get that dopamine fix when you feel like you can present yourself a certain way and you're received. Ultimately, just a reflection of how much we long to be seen by somebody. We long for someone to love us and accept us and see us for who we are. And sometimes before anybody else will do that for us, we have to show up for ourselves and pull away from some of that stuff that's harming us, if it's social media or if it's that pull from that whole world, that void that tries to suck us in. But I think ultimately it is strong on the mental health aspect. Someone that struggles with paranoia, struggles with mental health, depression, despair. If you have experience with this, share in the comment section. What has helped you pull back from that void and find hope to know that it's not time to let go. It's not time to be done. There is hope. And let this awesome track be, maybe that can be that for you, a song that really puts in words what you're feeling, really a moment of catharsis to feel what you're feeling, and then to look for the remedy for it. To take this awesome music, this creative, beautiful piece of art that is addressing this heavy topic, and then decide, am I going to be sucked in? Am I going to take that step in? Am I going to be all consumed by this despair? Or am I going to start storing myself something else? I am loved. There is hope. This was an awesome track. What else should I know by Magnolia Park? What do I need to know about the band? What type of songs do I need to react to? Comment below, then I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!